Part 21. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 201. Chapter 201 Fall. Even though Yang Zizi told her that it was just a lie, he still cooperated with him in the play. Even if it is false, he can't help but fall into it, because his love is so deep that he can regard false things as true. Chu Yongzi looked at 11 Jin's face, which seemed to be very unfriendly, and felt angry in her heart. She clenched her fists unconsciously, but could not do anything. "When did you get a boyfriend?" Yang Ruimin asked in a low voice, without any effort at all to look down on her best friend who was probably already sullen. "That's right, why didn't you tell us about such a big thing?" Gu Zixi complained. "It's not too late now," Yang Zizi said with a smile, holding 11 Jin's arm as if it was true. "Uncle and aunt, hello." Brothers 11 Jin was obedient and allowed himself to be manipulated by Yang Zizi. All he needed to do now was to act as Yang Zizi's boyfriend in front of the public. Even if it is false, he can't help but think it is true. "Well, this young man looks good." Gu Yaoi kept praising 11 Jin, looking at him, smiling from ear to ear with satisfaction. It seems that the whole family is very satisfied with 11 Jin's son-in-law. They were busy entertaining their son-in-law, and their best friends, family, and the media present were completely ignored by them. The people of the Chu family even looked like they were swallowing their anger. They were either staying or leaving. Reporters picked up the microphone one after another to ask questions, and all kinds of strange questions were asked by them. Yang Zizi nodded with a smile and started talking nonsense seriously. 11 Jin on the side is trying very hard not to laugh. This girl's ability to talk nonsense is really amazing. Yang Ruimin also noticed her best friend beside her at this time. "Yao Yao, I didn't know that my daughter actually had a boyfriend. If I had known, I wouldn't have introduced him to Yun." 11 Yang Ruimin looked at her best friend apologetically. The best friend sneered and seemed very angry, but she did not dare to show it too much in front of the media. After all, their friendship was favored by many netizens, who called them fairy best friends. If you show a bad expression on that day, a lot of rumors about the relationship breakup of best friends will come to the fore. Especially in this scene, it will cause people to have reverie and misunderstanding. It doesn't matter, we can't be too lenient in children's affairs. Others don't know the temperament of their best friend, but Yang Ruimin knows that when she hears her tone of voice and actions, even though she smiles and doesn't care at all on the surface, she probably wants to block her in her heart. "How about they break up one day? I will tell you as soon as possible, and then ask Yongzi to chase Zizi immediately." Yang Ruimin had a sudden idea and spoke unabashedly. My best friend just smiled politely. Compared to their two families, the Chu family was inferior to the Gu family. Bloodlines. Lun Chenqi was sitting on the sofa watching the live broadcast on TV, which was the scene of the Gu group's 50th anniversary celebration. "Brother Shenqi, let me tell you, Yang Zizi is a heartless person. After all, he doesn't love you at all." Guikale held his arms and stood aside watching the live broadcast on TV. Lun Chenqi's eyes gradually turned blood red, his hands on both sides clenched unconsciously, and veins bulged. All the glass windows in the house suddenly cracked and shattered into pieces. Brother Shenqi, Guikale was horrified. Then the TV series exploded instantly. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 202. Chapter 202 Can't You Try to Like Me? The celebration was finally over, and the Gu family needed to deal with the aftermath, so Yang Zizi and 11 Jin left early. 11 Jin went to the garage to drive, while Yang Zizi was waiting at the door. Suddenly, Yang Zizi's hand was grabbed from behind. "Chu Yongzi." She looked at him holding her hand tightly and couldn't help but frowned. What did this kid want to do? Sure enough, people should not be judged by their appearance. Is he really your boyfriend or are you lying to avoid marrying me? Chu Yongzi's voice was angry and sharp, which was in sharp contrast to the gentle and gentlemanly demeanor of him just now. It turned out that his gentlemanly demeanor was just a pretense, a persona packaged for himself. Fortunately, she was very discerning and could not make an engagement with him. Mr. Chu, aren't you afraid that the media will photograph you like this? Aren't you afraid that you will be exposed by the media pretending to be a gentleman? Yang Zizi easily shook off his hand. She found that she seemed to have great strength again. Now she can confront this person head-on with enough confidence. After listening to Yang Zizi's words, Chu Yongzi's expression became stiff for a while. He lowered his head for a while to collect his emotions. Then he raised his head, regained his gentlemanly demeanor, and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Zizi, it was my wife just now, impulsive. If you know your mistakes and you can correct them, there is no greater good." Yang Zizi glanced at him and raised his feet to leave. "Zizi," Chu Yongzi stopped her, feeling unwilling and angry in her heart. "I like you. I'm sorry, I have a very picky taste and don't like hypocritical people." After Yang Zizi said this, he left without looking back and pulled 11 Jin, who got out of the car angrily to teach Chu Yongzi a lesson, back into the car. In the car. "What did that kid want to do? He actually dared to hold your hand. If you hadn't stopped me, I would have killed him long ago." 11 Jin, who was driving the car, kept cursing. "Hey, can you please be quiet? You really take yourself as my boyfriend seriously?" Yang Zizi really couldn't stand 11 Jin's noisy behavior. "Yeah, I took it seriously, so you need to be responsible for me." At a red light, 11 Jin stopped the car and approached her. Yang Zizi subconsciously stepped back and looked at him with disgust. "I will be responsible. I will give you anything you want, but I can't do anything about love. Because you are not him. Can't you try to like me?" 11 Jin said humbly. "Then can't you try to treat me as a brother? You want me to think of you as 11 Ting," 11 Jin said half jokingly. Yang Zizi rolled his eyes. This kid's understanding ability is really as bad as the North Pole. Thinking about it carefully, letting 11 Jin act on his own initiative with her really made things difficult for him. "You may need to pretend to be my boyfriend during this period. It's no problem, maybe one day the fake show will come true," 11 Jin said confidently. "You can ask me any questions you don't know in the future, and I will help you answer them unconditionally." "Okay," 11 Jin nodded readily. What he wants is not how many problems she can solve for him, but that she can unlock her heart and let him live in it. In the evening, sure enough, internet writers wrote a lot of news about the breakdown of the relationship between Yang Ruimin and her best friend based on the live broadcast. The popularity directly overshadowed the popularity of Yang Zizi and 11 Jin. Yang Ruimin had a headache watching the news. "Mom, have you and Aunt Yao Yao known each other for a long time?" "Yes, Yao Yao and your father and I grew up together, and we have a very good relationship." Yang Ruimin was a little disappointed when she saw the news. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 203. Chapter 203 Injury. Ever since meeting Yang Zizi for the first time at the celebration, Chu Yongzi fell in love with her at first sight. In order to see her every day, he would go to school to pick her up from school every day, but every time, 11 Jin would be the first to pick him up and leave. Today, Chu Yongzi came half an hour early and waited for her in the parking lot. Unexpectedly, she and 11 Jin walked side by side to the parking lot. Zizi. Chu Yongzi ran forward and stood in front of 11 Jin. 11 Jin was upset, holding his collar and warning, "Hey hey hey, what are you doing? Her boyfriend is still here, do you know how to respect people? After all, he has lived for hundreds of years." He can be regarded as this elder, he has no manners at all, and he doesn't even know how to respect the elders at the very least. Chu Yongzi just turned her head and glanced at him, without paying much attention, and then turned to Yang Zizi. Zizi, my mother said she misses you, and it just so happens that our two families can have a meal together tonight. What do you think? Chu Yongzi, I'm warning you, if you don't want to be punched, get out of here. 11 Jin tried hard to contain his anger, just not wanting Yang Zizi to see his violent side. Yang Zizi had obviously left Chu Yongzi to 11 Jin, and she didn't bother to take care of him. I'll wait for you in the car, Yang Zizi said to 11 Jin and got on the car first. Chu Yongzi wanted to chase after him, but 11 Jin grabbed him and hit him in the stomach. He has put up with this kid for a long time. Chu Yongzi was beaten to the ground and had no strength to resist. Unexpectedly, 11 Jin, who looks like a tall and thin little wolf dog, is actually stronger than the warriors of the ethnic minorities. I'm warning you again, if you don't want to die, you'd better stay away from my girlfriend, otherwise, I'll beat you every time I see you. After 11 Jin finished speaking, he got in the car and drove away. Did you strike too hard? Although Yang Zizi sympathized with Chu Yongzi, he still felt that 11 Jin did the right thing. However, Chu Yongzi was the son of Yang Ruimin's best friend and did not know about this punch. Will going down here break the relationship between besties? Although there have been rumors on the internet that the relationship between their besties has broken down, looking at the reality, it seems that it has not reached this point yet. I wonder if this punch will be an assist. If it were you, you would probably be more ruthless than me, 11 Jin said from the bottom of his heart. He had personally experienced Yang Zizi's cold violence. His strength seemed to help others reach the sky. Yang Zizi did not deny it. When I got home, I saw Yang Ruimin standing in the hall wondering what she was worried about. Is it because 11 Jin injured Chu Yongzi? Zizi, you are finally back. I heard that the kid from Yongzi was beaten by that kid from 11 Jin. Please call 11 Jin up quickly and go to the hospital to see him together. Yang Ruimin looked anxious. His injuries shouldn't be serious, he just received a punch, but he ended up going to the hospital? How pretentious this must be. 11 Jin is very busy now and can't leave. I'll go with you. If 11 Jin goes to the hospital to see Chu Yongzi, the Chu couple will definitely make a big fuss to seek justice for Chu Yongzi. If 11 Jin is forced to show his original shape, it will be over. When they arrived at the hospital, Yao Yao held Chu Yongzi's hand and asked tearfully if it hurt here or where it hurt. Yao Yao, how is Yongzi? Yang Ruimin motioned to the driver to put down the fruit. Yang Zizi walked into the ward and took a look. The ward was pretty good. It could be called a 5-star hotel suite. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 204. Chapter 204. The relationship between besties breaks down. Yang Zizi sat on the sofa casually and turned on the TV out of boredom. Recently, people familiar with the matter broke the news that the best friend relationship between the wife of the chairman of the Gu group and the wife of the chairman of the Chu group broke down like this since childhood. Dare I ask if there is still a best friend relationship in this world? Time stood still, and they were all plunged into silence by the newscaster's words. Yang Zizi looked innocent. Can she say that she didn't do it on purpose? She didn't know that the news was broadcast as soon as she turned on the TV. Yang Ruimin suddenly laughed, trying to break the embarrassment. Yao Yao, what does the doctor say? Is Yun 11's injury serious? Yao Yao lowered her head, pretending not to hear anything, and looked like she was enduring it again and again. Yao Yao, Yang Ruimin gently called her name. Mrsku, please stop pretending to be a holy mother here. The media has already revealed the news. What's the point of pretending? You don't know that the person who injured my son is your daughter's boyfriend, Yao Yao said again. I couldn't hold it in any longer and started shouting explosively. It was my boyfriend who hurt your son. Why are you yelling at my mother? Yang Zizi stood in front of Yang Ruimin and said to Yao Yao without any politeness. Yao Yao lowered her head and said nothing. Perhaps she was frightened by Yang Zizi's aura. I'm sorry, our Yao Yao loves her son very much and her temper is a bit fierce. Please forgive me. Mr. Chu on the side was trying to resolve the conflict. Yang Zizi doesn't agree with them. People have seen it and they are not dead, so we will leave first, Yang Zizi said. Yao Yao, I apologize to you on behalf of our future son-in-law. They are also children, and it is normal for them to fight and fight. Yang Ruimin still wants to restore this relationship between best friends. After all, they have been growing up since childhood. The relationship has lasted for 10 years, and it's impossible to just break it off. Is apologizing useful? Can apologizing go back to the past? Yao Yao's words seemed to have a different meaning, and did not seem to refer to the matter at hand. Suddenly, Gu Yaoei appeared in front of the ward, looking very anxious. Yaoei, why are you here too? Yang Ruimin was a little surprised to see her husband. He seemed to have never told him about Chu Yongzi's admission to the hospital, and there was no need for him to come here. Gu Yaoei seemed to be looking for an excuse and said, when I came home and saw that you were not there, the servant said that you had gone to the hospital, which scared me to death. I thought something had happened to you and Zizi. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead, obviously he was lying. Yang Zizi could tell, but Yang Ruimin couldn't possibly tell. After all, the couple had been sleeping in the same bed for so many years, and they still had the most basic trust. It's just that she didn't know why Gu Yaoei lied, and what was his reason for lying. He could visit openly as a good friend and Yang Ruimin's husband. Yang Zizi suddenly saw Yao Yao's eyes. She kept looking at Gu Yaoei, her eyes full of scars. What is this, going on? This made Yang Zizi start to daydream. Is there something between two people? Impossible, is there no logic at all? She suddenly thought of Yang Ruimin telling him last night that the three of them grew up together as childhood sweethearts. Looks can't deceive anyone. She can at least be sure that Yao Yao likes Gu Yaoei, but she has been hiding it for many years. It seems that the rumors of the breakup of the relationship between besties are not traceable, but they were exposed a little late. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 205. Chapter 205, Persistence. Gu Yaoei seemed to feel guilty when he saw Yao Yao's evasive eyes. The atmosphere has reached a deadlock again. Suddenly, Yang Zizi saw 11 Jin's shadow outside the door, and she walked out without hesitation. Why are you here? Yang Zizi asked. I seem to have discovered a shocking secret, 11 Jin said in an appetizing voice. What? Yang Zizi asked, as if he could guess a thing or two in his heart. Your dad seems to have had an affair with your mom's best friend. What are you talking about? Don't say anything you're not sure about casually. Well, I'm not sure about adultery, but there's one thing I'm particularly sure about. Chu Yongzi is actually your father's biological son. Your brother 11 Jin began to become serious. Yang Zizi glanced at him with disgust. There was no need for this kid to make up such a plot in order to fight off his love rival. Zi, don't believe me, it's true. 11 Jin treated her very seriously. Yang Zizi naturally believed what 11 Jin said, but he didn't know what would happen if Yang Ruimin found out. Her life is really miserable. She was murdered and she still doesn't know that her biological daughter was killed. She doesn't know that her best friend secretly gave birth to a child for her husband, and she doesn't know that her husband had cheated on her before. She wanted to help her, but she didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Yang Ruimin walked out of the ward in a daze. Mom Yang Zizi immediately went over to help her who was about to fall. Gu Yaoei suddenly chased him out and wanted to explain something loudly. When he saw Yang Zizi, he suppressed it and went back. What's wrong with my mother? Yang Zizi asked knowingly. Your mother and Aunt Yao Yao had a fight, and she couldn't bear it? Yang Zizi didn't say anything. After all, she didn't seem to have the right to interfere in their affairs. After all, she is just a stranger occupying the body of the original owner. I'll send your mother back first, and you'll come back early, Gu Yaoi said and helped Yang Ruimin leave. It's strange that the Gu family has been calm these past few days, and there has been no big fuss because of things outside. Gu Yaoi should go to the company or go to the company, Yang Ruimin should still run the house in an orderly manner, and the brothers are also calm, as if nothing happened. The rumors on the internet about the breakdown of Yang Ruimin's relationship with her best friend have gradually faded out of netizens' attention. This big melon has finally been eaten. Yang Zizi also acted like he didn't know anything and just did whatever he was supposed to do. One day, Yang Zizi couldn't control himself and ran to the back hill of Lingao school without waiting for 11 Jin to go to the toilet. She sat on the ground, looking at the sky, hoping that he could fly to her with his black wings. However, after sitting for a long time, he did not appear. Yang Zizi lowered his head and laughed to himself. He had been gone for almost a year, and yet he was still imagining that he would appear in front of him. Suddenly, there was movement around. Prosperity, did God hear her prayer? However, it was 11 Jin who appeared in front of her the next second. Are you here like this? Yang Zizi sat down again in disappointment. I couldn't find you, so I knew you would be at the place where we first met. 11 Jin sat cross-legged next to her and said, why are you so attached to this place? This place is very dangerous. Danger. For him, nothing in this world is dangerous, but he is the most dangerous thing in her life. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 206. Chapter 206. I'm waiting for someone who can't wait. I'm waiting for someone. Then, have you waited for him? Yang Zizi shook his head and said, no, he can't appear. Although he knew the result, he still deceived himself. Then why are you waiting for him? He remembered that she once said to him that she already had someone she liked, maybe she was waiting for the person he liked. 11 Jin couldn't help but feel sour in his heart. Perhaps it's to comfort myself. Yang Zizi raised his head to prevent tears from falling. Then I'll wait with you. Yang Zizi shook her head. Sometimes, she didn't even understand what she was thinking. Sometimes he wished that Lun Zhenji could return to her and stay with her regardless of anything, but sometimes, he thought of what Gui Kale said to him here and the scene of getting along with Gui Kale. She hated him and why he lied to her. He was very conflicted in his heart. He hated him but also hoped that he could come back to him, tying him to his side forever and not letting him leave. I don't want to wait for him, because what will happen if I wait? It's just blind deception. Time passed by, Yang Zizi and 11 Jin went to and from school together, and the days of preparing for exams together were coming to an end. There are banners everywhere cheering for the college entrance examination. Countdown to the college entrance examination with all the students. With the countdown to 0 days, the examination rooms of Yang Zizi and 11 Jin were next door to each other, and they walked into the examination room at the same time. They walked out of the examination room at the same time, and they cooperated very well. Hey girlfriend, how are you feeling? Yang Zizi frowned, dissatisfied with this title. She had obviously announced their breakup to the outside world a month ago. The reason was that the college entrance examination was about to take place. She ignored him and walked straight ahead for a full year and a half. He has been away for a year and a half, and to him, this year and a half has been as long as a lifetime. I may have to go back to the Wolf Clan this summer to take care of some things. Do you want to go back with me? The clan members all say they miss you, 11 Jin said to her. Then you go back first. It just so happens that I have my own things to do this summer vacation. Please tell me thank you to your tribe. I will definitely go to the wolf tribe to see them when I have time, Yang Zizi said with a smile. This kid is finally going back to the wolf clan. Then remember to miss me, 11 Jin said reluctantly. Only now did he realize that being a leader was not a very happy thing. Yang Zizi nodded perfunctorily. Since 11 Jin returned to the wolf clan, Yang Zizi has been alone again. Thinking about it now, 11 Jin was quite lively around his friend, but now that he is gone, he is really not used to it. Yang Zizi accidentally saw an advertisement at the bus stop on the way back. Jia Chang was recruiting trainees from all over the country. Jia Chang is also one of the top talent agencies in the country, and has attracted many first-line stars, actors, singers, and directors. All of them are excellent and firmly on the front line. Yang Zizi applied online without hesitation and had an on-site interview 3 days later. Unexpectedly, after returning home, Yang Ruimin arranged a graduation trip. But he was directly rejected by Yang Zizi. He had more important things to do than traveling. He must become famous in a short period of time, even if it is a short period of time, as long as the video of him looking for Lun Zhenqi is forwarded by the entire internet, then Lun Zhenqi will definitely be able to see it. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 207. Chapter 207. It's not because of love. After seeing the advertisement, Yang Zizi immediately signed up and came to the on-site interview. She actually passed the interview, just thinking that she was a prospective college student in an art high school. Yang Zizi practices in the practice room every day and night, never stopping, not because of love, but because of her deep love for him. The show started soon. She participated in a talent show as a girl group and won the championship in one fell swoop. The host asked her what she would say when she won the award. She picked up the microphone and had never felt that it had weight. Lun Zhenqi, this lady is looking for you, come back, Yang Zizi roared heartbreakingly. The whole audience was startled by this voice, and then they were also moved by Yang Zizi's deep emotion. This video was not edited and was successfully broadcast. Sure enough, as expected, this video was edited by countless netizens and posted on major platforms. It spread very quickly, and Yang Zizi became popular all over the country. No one knew this girl who dared to love and hate. However, the society is very realistic, but in just 3 days, Yang Zizi's popularity plummeted. A director asked Yang Zizi to audition, and she agreed. The audition at the company went smoothly and I got the role of the heroine of an online drama. But she doesn't seem that happy, but there are more opportunities to appear in front of the screen, so Lun Zhenqi has more opportunities to see her. Then will there be more chances for him to come back? Yang Zizi received a call and went to the company for a meeting. She walked to the door of the company, and suddenly a fashionably dressed girl overtook her from behind, and deliberately bumped into Yang Zizi, who almost raised her chin to the sky. Yang Zizi recognized this girl. The trainee who joined the company with her won the runner-up in the talent show. Sue missed the championship, but Sue was unwilling to accept it. Jenny, Yang Zizi called her name with a thorn in his tone. This English name was given to herself by herself, hoping to highlight her own personality and make herself look fashionable. Jenny turned around pretending to be shocked, but her tone was full of sarcasm. Isn't this the recent draft champion? His eyes scanned her body from top to bottom with contempt. Yang Zizi didn't care about her. What are you doing here? Jenny suddenly asked again. Jenny could not help but feel excited and wanted to see Yang Zizi make a fool of herself. She said impatiently, are you here for a meeting about the IP drama 10 Worlds? How would he know? Could it be that she played a supporting role in it? It seemed that she was going to be in trouble. It was not that simple to cooperate with him. Yang Zizi smiled and responded to her. That's really embarrassing. The heroine of this drama now is me. Jenny wanted to be as proud as she was, provoking Yang Zizi. What? Changed temporarily? Then why did you ask yourself to hold a meeting? Yang Zizi didn't have time to listen to Jenny's nonsense. He ran to the conference room and asked the director, I heard that the heroine of the drama 10 Worlds was changed to Jenny. Why didn't anyone tell me? Boss, don't worry. This reversal made Yang Zizi confused. Boss, how did he become the boss in seconds without doing anything? What did you just call me? Boss, the director looked at Yang Zizi seriously, not like he was joking at all. She looked around at everyone present, and they all looked at her seriously, solemnly, and respectfully. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 208. Chapter 208, Inheriting the Brokerage Company. What is this situation? She has succeeded in starting a business before she even started it? It seems that the chairman didn't tell you. Chairman. Good guy, is there another person who wants to recognize you? Who is your chairman? Our chairman's surname is Gui. The surname is Ghost? Could it be brothers? What's your name? Yang Zizi asked anxiously. It looked like none of them knew his name. Then how do you prove that I am the boss of this company? The company information shows that you are the boss of the company, and the legal representative and registrant are still our chairman. A shareholder of the company stood up and said. So, this company belongs to her, and she doesn't need to pay back the debt even if it goes bankrupt. Looking at Yang Zizi's hesitation, they thought she still didn't believe it and were afraid that if she left the company alone, the company would be in chaos and not even have a manager. The chairman called yesterday and specifically told us that the boss will come to the company today. Call up. The call record is still there, please call me back quickly. The shareholders did as they were told and dialed the number that the chairman called yesterday, but it was only an empty number. Yang Zizi compared the phone numbers. Isn't this the phone number of Gui Yunyo? Why did he call an outsider on his own initiative a year ago and no one answered it? It was obvious that he didn't want to answer her call. That's right, she's not his biological sister. She searched for Lun Zhenqi for a year and a half but still had no news. Even after the video was broadcast, there was still no movement. Since Gui Yunyu has made some noise, let's start with him. Gui Kale knows where Lun Zhenqi is, so he doesn't believe that Gui Yunyu doesn't know. Since he has become the boss of this company, all the decision-making power is in her hands, and she can make decisions however she wants. She wanted to act willfully and owed a huge debt to Gui Yunyu, and she no longer believed that she could hide the money she owed. Since I am now the boss of this company, I announce that I will recast my role in the TV series 10 Worlds. Yang Zizi sat down on the main seat in a dignified manner and announced domineeringly. Is there a suitable candidate for the boss? The director asked. Not yet, but now that I have taken over this company, the business strategy will also change, so you must adapt as soon as possible, Yang Zizi said. Shareholders and directors looked at Yang Zizi's serious look and thought she was going to take them to the top of their lives. Notify the publicity team to recruit some new artists. Those who pass 3 rounds of interviews can sign the contract. Also, all the first-line stars in our company will terminate their contracts, and the liquidated damages will be paid to them from the company's account as soon as possible. Shareholders, directors, and producers are all panicking. What kind of business strategy is this? Is this a bankruptcy strategy? Boss, our company's source of income is supported by these first-line stars, and each of them has signed a contract for 30 years. The liquidated damages are quite a lot. The director looked like he was about to cry, and he didn't know what the boss was thinking. All fools know the consequences of doing so. We have to break the rules and don't think that only A-list celebrities can make money for the company. We have to take a long-term view to catch the big fish. Maybe there are many talents who have not met me as a bowl. We have to be good at discovering talents, Yang Zizi said seriously. Nonsense. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 209. Chapter 209, Bankruptcy of the Company. Okay, you guys are going to do what I say, and you will make money so much that you won't be able to stop. Yang Zizi slapped the table and stood up, leaving the office. Only the shareholders, directors, and producers were left looking at each other with big eyes and small eyes. The next day, in order to highlight his dedication, Yang Zizi came to the company early. Unexpectedly, hundreds of people came for interviews. Then she will join in the fun. Yang Zizi ran into the interview room and looked at these people who came for the interview. Yang Zizi also passed on the director's approval because she believed that the director's vision would never be wrong. Okay, you did a very good job. She was real and emotional, and she had a strong sense of involvement. Looking at the girl in front of him with superb acting skills, the director praised her repeatedly. What do you think, boss? The director asked Yang Zizi happily, feeling confident that Yang Zizi must be full of admiration for this girl with a promising future. I also think her acting skills are very good and superb. I almost cried during her performance. The girl wears a sign on her chest with her name and number written on it. The girl's name is Kui Yin, a sweet and comely sophomore student. Hearing her boss praise her, she bowed repeatedly to thank the director and boss for their recognition. But, what our company is most indispensable for is good acting skills. Everyone was stunned. Your acting skills are very good. I recommend you to go to TNU, which is more suitable for you for such an outstanding girl. He didn't want to delay other people's youth because of his own affairs. Kui Yin felt aggrieved. She had worked hard for a year to enter Jiacheng as an artist, but unexpectedly she was rejected. Yang Zizi couldn't bear it. He really didn't want to hurt her self-confidence, but there was nothing he could do about it. Such an outstanding girl couldn't waste her time in this company that was about to go bankrupt. However, the hard-hearted Yang Zizi eliminated her in the end, and encouraged her to go to TNU, and she would definitely be able to get in. After an afternoon of interviews, the director looked at the 10 boys and girls standing on the stage who were selected. His face turned dark, and looking at a few ordinary-looking people who even looked a little crooked, he felt a little doubtful about life. The chairman calls him boss, not to manage the company, but to destroy it. How about it? I have pretty good taste, right? Yang Zizi said proudly. Boss, I want to resign, the director said with a grimace on his face. Why? You have to know that you have signed a contract with the company for 30 years, and if you leave early, you will have to pay liquidated damages. The director hesitated. Although he had made a lot of money in the past few years, he still couldn't bear to hand it over to others. They say that people's desires are endless, and he just achieved the ultimate. With no choice but to continue, he just hoped that the boss's unconventional strategy would work. As for the heroine of 10 Worlds this time, let's choose her. Yang Zizi touched his chin and thought about it seriously, then pointed at a girl casually and said. The girl was extremely pleasantly surprised. He had never thought that he would be able to be a heroine once when he looked like this. The most important thing was that she was a non-major student with no knowledge of anything and zero experience, so she was chosen in the first try. Boss, the investment amount for 10 Worlds is more than 1 billion. You can't joke. At least you should train for a few days first, the director almost cried. I really want to leave but I can't, and I want to stay but I have no choice. End of this chapter. The fake daughter can be either salty or sweet. Author, Wu Zizai. Chapter 210. Chapter 210, another company for her to inherit. No, That girl is a college student and must have a high level of understanding. It's okay to teach and film at the same time. The director's face was hurt by crying and he didn't know what to say. After a lot of twists and turns, 10 Worlds can be regarded as the launching ceremony. The power-on ceremony can be said to be the most extravagant power-on ceremony in history. The leading actors and supporting actors wear ancient costumes designed by the world's top masters. Unexpectedly, one piece costs tens of millions, not to mention there are several sets. The on-site decoration was even more luxurious. Journalists from all walks of life came with their cameras in hand, exclaiming that Jia Chang had made a lot of money. As soon as the filming of the TV series started, Yang Zizi immediately spent money and bought a lot of equipment. "Boss, you have bought 5 cameras today. It's okay. The crew is on standby. If it breaks down, it will affect the filming progress." Yang Zizi raised his legs on the desk, cracking melon seeds while watching the show. "Boss, you have already bought 10 wires. It's okay, my artists must be safe enough to make money for the company." Yang Zizi drank milk tea and shouted at the king. "Boss, the 5-star hotel can no longer accommodate the actors from the 10 Worlds crew. Then build a building for them to live in." Yang Zizi waved his hand proudly. Time passed day by day, and Yang Zizi stared at the company account every day. "Hey guys, it's been a month and there's still so much money. How much money did this ghost Yunyu earn for himself before he left? Now even spending money has become a physical and mental activity." The actors of the whole crew were used to the princess disease by Yang Zizi seeds. Yang Zizi's trick is to add more money and more money. On the last day of the month, the company's account finally bottomed out, and the filming of the big IP drama 10 Worlds was stopped due to lack of funds. Yang Zizi sat in the office and watched media reports about the current situation of the company. Because he trusted his boss, the company owed tens of billions, and shareholders and investors suffered huge losses. After the entertainment news was broadcast, Yang Zizi clapped his hands with satisfaction and walked out of the office. "Gui Yunyo, let's see if you don't come back quickly to pay back the money." Yang Zizi walked out of the company calmly. All the reports these days are about the bankruptcy of Jia Chang. Shareholders and investors are increasing their efforts to find the ghost banker. With so many people helping her find Gui Yunyo, she really doesn't need to take action. Yang Zizi walked away heroically, but he caused misfortune to the leaders and employees at all levels of the company, as well as the artist Nana. It's not her fault. If it's Gui Yunyo's fault, he gave her the company. Yang Zizi was still planning to go to the company to continue chatting, but the news on the TV reminded her that the company was bankrupt, so she fell down and continued to sleep. It's been a week, why hasn't Gui Yunyo shown up at a public press conference? Suddenly, Yang Zizi's phone rang. From the description of the other party, it seems that she is an executive of Gui Yunyo's company again, and this time she is asked to take over the company. How many companies does this Gui Yunyo own? All of them have been declared bankrupt, and he actually dares to let her manage the companies. Yang Zizi is naturally going to go. The debt owed by Su Jia Chang's company is not enough for Gui Yunyo to show up, so let everyone in the world become his creditors. Let's see if he can come out yet. Yang Zizi came to the company, which is a technology company. Its main business is app research and development. Many apps are famous around the world and have become indispensable software in human mobile phones. End of this chapter.